once again, considerable swing for Wazzy Macram. There looks to be more carry here, Glenn, than we saw in the North-South game.
Oh, indeed. It's just a little bit of moisture. The groundsman's...
Waka Yunus has in
recent times have managed to stay all day on the wicket facing Wasim Akram and Waqar Yunus.
So that's the end of another over, 9 for no wicket. Looking to take the attack to the Pakistanis, Mark Greatbatch.
Yes, very typical of Mark Greatbatch opening the innings, going down to the pitch of that delivery, and a big whack of that delivery from Waqar Yunus towards the long-on region. That's the type of cricket he plays in one-day cricket.
Very much so. He goes again, and this is over the cover region, and there's a big chair at 6 runs. Well, he's hit Waqar Yunus over cover for 6. An incredible shot.
That was a glorious shot by Mark Greatbatch, picked on the up and with perfect timing towards the extra cover region into the stands. Beautiful shot there by Mark Greatbatch. Slightly short and picking on the up, Mark Greatbatch off the back foot and with a lot of power behind it.
Yes, well, that's interesting stuff, isn't it? Of course, we're inside the 15 overs, so only 2 fieldsmen allowed outside the 30-metre circle. It's a shorter delivery and a little bit quicker too, perhaps. Waqar Yunus not enjoying being hit for 6, but the crowd certainly enjoying it.
Yes, not many can hit 6 of Waqar Yunus.
No. There's the New Zealand camp, Jeff Houth, the New Zealand coach. John Gibson, the New Zealand manager, on his right, or our left. Gavin Larson, Chris Pringle, Richard de Gruen, up in the players' enclosure, and into Karbala. Mishits this one, bottom of the back, just running away into the slip region. Inzamam picks up. So Pakistan side from the test match, Amir Nazir not playing today, Kumar.
Yes, Amir Nazir and Atif Rauf, the batsman is not, the 2 changes in the side from the 3rd test in Christchurch at Lancaster Park, and the men in are Ataur Rahman and Asif Mushtaba.
Right. Those 2 played in the first 2 test matches, out because of injury. No ball called, so another one to the score. Actually, Mushtaba played in Wellington, but he injured his finger, so he didn't bat, did he?
He was fielding in the gully, and he had to stop a vicious square cut, and he split his finger. Had a slight break. Naturally, if you break your finger, you have to be out for at least 2 weeks.
He's come right now. He's back in business. That's the run rate, 3.17. So a good start for New Zealand. This is the 6th over. Greatbatch on 14. Young on 1. Mark Greatbatch doesn't seem to know where it is. Oh, dear, oh me, he's run out. Well, total confusion. Mark Greatbatch did not know where the ball was, and he looked for a run, didn't know where the ball was again, looked again, decided to go, and by that time he was going to be run out, and was.
Just mix up there with Greatbatch tucking it on the leg side. The ball is gone on the offside. He's going for a run. He was called for it, and Amir Sohail scoops the ball and runs onto the wicket. Very clever piece of fielding by Amir Sohail, and takes the bail foul.
So Mark Greatbatch gone. New Zealand 18 for 1. Oh, goodness me, how did that miss the stumps? Just over the top. End of the over, 18 for 1. Andrew Jones underway through the leg side. It may go all the way. It's a little bit slow out there. It's just made it. So 4 runs to Andrew Jones, gets him off the mark.
Yes, off his toes, Andrew Jones. That flicks that one towards the square leg region with perfect timing. So he had seen the ball come onto the leg and middle stump and just perfectly poised to hit that one.
So Andrew Jones, last we'll see of him this summer, and then he'll be gone at the end of March. Not to play any more test matches, although there is a test match in Hamilton against India, but he's not playing that one. He will play the one-dayers, and he'll certainly be a sad loss.
Just one of the best batsmen that I have seen from New Zealand.
Good straight delivery from Waka Yunus. So let's go to the last ball of the last over. Kumar, this was a beauty, wasn't it?
Yes, absolute beauty, that one. He's coming into the batsman, forcing Young on the back foot and just cutting back a little and missing his off stump.
Chris King, one of the umpires, he's from Queenstown. Along with Steve Dunn, it's rather a South Island affair, the umpiring. And we've got this rain coming in again. Let's hope it's not too much. It's just drifting in. Drizzly sort of a rain. Another good ball. So there's been a lot of debate down here on radio and newspaper and what have you, and about the prices on the terrace. It's pretty scruffy over there at the moment. They are doing it up, but $25, goodness me. The students are not happy.
Yes, very expensive, I suppose, for the students.
Yes, I think the numbers over there at the moment reflect that, because in the past we've seen it very, very full, but it's certainly not full at the moment.
Yes, in a country like Pakistan or India, the tickets are sold half price to the students.
Right. And there's a bit of indecision again. That's good fielding. And Brian Young says no to Andrew Jones.
That one a short delivery, and Jones just tucking it away on the offside.
So that's our stump vision looking down the pitch here. It looks a good pitch, but imagine this dampness will assist the bowlers a bit. As long as the seam stays hard on the ball, it can make it a little mushy when it gets too much dampness on it. Oh, he's nicked it. Allowed appeal. Umpire Chris King says no. Well, the Pakistanis can't believe it. There certainly was a sound. Let's listen.
Yes, that was a short and lifting delivery and seemed to have a little edge on it. There was a confident appeal all round. The Pakistani bowler, Waka Yunus, kept on appealing. That one's lifting is
Just watch the replay and see if we can listen here for the sound of a possible nick. Yes, well, there was certainly sound there.
There's a nice shot played by Brian Young for a couple. That's a full toss to Brian Young. And it's finished up down at third man. So the runs are coming in singles at the moment. Andrew Jones, as we know, played his last test match at Christchurch earlier this week. This is his DB draft player profile of his one-day international career. Never scored 100. Highest score there, 93.
Yes, his strength was always in Test cricket and the longer forms of the game.
Just missed out there, though. That was a full toss again.
Yeah, well, that's two full tosses and one down. So we saw Rahman just before the break struggle as well, and he hasn't really hit his straps yet.
It's a no ball. That will help the New Zealand cause because they've picked up a single anyway, and they'll get another delivery. One of the more interesting aspects of something that happened while we weren't playing, Glenn, was the heater coming out. Now, I think that's probably done its job because that little wet patch has seemed to have disappeared.
Yes, although I must confess that looked a pretty old heater to me, and I wondered whether or not he was going to start a fire out there. The grass looked quite burnt and dry. He had about 10 minutes use out of it, I think. it up, and this is the first very aggressive shot that we've seen, and that gap through extra cover has been found by Brian Young. There was the necessary width reasonably well up to him. You see the long off out there, but not able to get across. After it, they have to make way for somebody else, and so Jones will probably give himself another over or so, and if he's not able to penetrate, then he will have to look to leave it to somebody else.
Well, he's done it again. Third time in the over, hits it directly to Said Anwar. End of the over. It's 53 for 1.
Possibility too.
Razar starts a new over, and again Young picks out the field.
Yes, although having said that, if you look at that order there, see Rutherford can get after it, Thompson as well, and Cairns.
Young this time lifts over the top of the infield and gets a single.
Yes, although Cairns may appear to be the most obvious, he's been out through injury, and we've seen Thompson really take it apart in the test match, and we know that Rutherford's an aggressive player too, so it's a bit of a toss-up there.
Jones swings, he should be caught, and he is. That's the end of Andrew Jones, and New Zealand lose their second wicket.
Well, I think that's an example of what I was mentioning before. Andrew Jones really was struggling to find the gaps, decided to play a very risky shot and tackle the boundary fielder, but he slogged right across it, tried to heave it away over square leg for 4, but it was very easily taken well inside the fence, and so New Zealand 54 for 2.
Halfway mark at the innings, and Young works another single. And the reason Cairns is out there is because of this.
Yes, Jones trying to heave it away over square leg, but got a top edge and it didn't carry very far. It's not a big hit out there, probably about 60-odd metres, and that would have been lucky to carry about 35-40 metres. Caught by Wasim Akram very comfortably.
To all our viewers, both in New Zealand and around Asia and the Pacific. It's bad luck for the players and for the New Zealand spectators, those in Carisbrooke, that rain has interfered with today, but it looks as if it's going to be able to be completed as a 30-over match anyway. Oh, it's a big hit, it's in the air though, and that's out. Sally Malik has it, and the third wicket's fallen. New Zealand are 58 for 3.
Well, the pressure really going on for New Zealand for quick runs. The big shots are having to come out now. Inspiration stakes. And this ball has bounced a wee bit on Brian Young, turned a little bit, and he's just succeeded in getting a huge top edge on it. Really did go quite high, and Malik underneath it, safe as a house. That's Brian Young gone. New Zealand 58 for 3.
This is the first day that Ken Rutherford has captained a New Zealand side in his home ground at Carisbrooke. And he got great acclamation from the crowd here. And of course a lot is expected of him, because New Zealand now desperately need some runs, and he has the strokes, the ability. So it's a big task for him. Ken's looking quickly for a single, and Rutherford came out because Brian Young really succumbed to the needs of the situation, didn't he, Ian?
Yes, the delivery was there to hit. It just bounced a wee bit and turned on him, and he just succeeded in skying. He really wasn't interested in the run. Ken's called him through just in case, but... And he's cleared it. Only just, we made it.
Feel for W, and that perhaps up the run. Games was just one
boundary on the ground.
So certainly New Zealand needed some boundaries in this over, because a maiden from Akram Razar previously, and with just 10 overs and 3 balls left, there's some acceleration needed. .71 for 3. He's bowling a bit quicker now, Osama Sahel, not giving Cairns a chance to come down and drive. That's not silly. he's actually quite useful too, because there's not much flight. And on this pitch, which does seem to be getting a little bit of spin, he's actually just sliding through the overs fairly quickly. So Rutherford is going to be outstumped. He just advanced and missed it. And it was all over once he missed the ball, so Rutherford's gone.
Well, I'm not sure this was one of Ken Rutherford's best options, really. We'd already got 7 off the overall New Zealand had. He played a pretty tough shot to hit that one down the wicket, especially the length it was. Might have been better to just work it under the offside. New Zealand now 72 for 4.
For 4, the match reduced to 30 overs only. And that means, of course, and here's Amos Sahel bowling the last ball of the over.
And Rutherford not getting to the pitch of it and missing.
So New Zealand have lost wickets at 18 when Greatbatch was out, then 54, 58 and 72, and that's been since they came back after the very large interruption to play. It looked most unlikely that play would resume, but the ground staff here have done a good job to get it back into playing condition. The outfield got a fair old soak, which would mean it's a bit slower. Cairns has already gone over the boundary on one occasion and will look for more. Good bit of stumping there, Ian.
Yes, good bit of work by the keeper, but there we see this premeditated shot from Chris Cairns. He's just put the foot down the wicket and hoped really that the ball's going to be there to put away.
Full toss, and he gets us away. They'll look for 2 here because it's quite a long chase around from backward square leg. And 2 runs completed. A couple of balls ago, we saw that ball which Ian Smith described as Cairns trying to lap it around, and it was pretty important that he kept his toe on the ground then, behind the stumps, behind the crease line. This is going down the ground too. Mushtaba's there and he makes the catch. So Cairns has gone too. He hit it straight to the player, but he was banking on the fact that he was going to get it over him. He's a short man, but Asif Mushtaba had no difficulty, and Raza picks up his 2nd wicket.
Well, everything going right for Pakistan. Holding New Zealand back in terms of the run rate, and they're picking up wickets at the same time. Cairns taking on the long on boundary. Previous over he made it. On this occasion he's missed out. He's gone. New Zealand now 74 for 5.
Which ended the 21st over down to mid-off, and Thompson and Harris out there because Cairns tried to clear the boundary.
Yes, he played an identical shot on the previous over against the left arm spinner and managed to get just a little bit more bat on it. And on this occasion, Malik's done his homework because the fielder in the previous over was about 10 yards in. This man was waiting right
on. In about 169 deliveries. So it was a fast one. He certainly crashed it, particularly fast for Test
dressing rooms. Chris turning it on the leg side, straight to the man though, Salim Malik, the skipper. Amir Sahel, the left-hander, is bowling. He's bowling quite well, quite a good limited over player, because he doesn't give it any air, just fires it in at the feet of the batsman. So again, a few old at the moment.
Latif trying to assist with the angle of the fielder on the boundary, on the sweep.
He swings this one away. It could just make the boundary. And, well, the crowd thought it may have, but I think he just picked it up inside.
Yes, there is just a little concrete ledge, you might call it, running around inside the boundary. But I think he got it just before it went onto it.
Chris King, the umpire, is now questioning as to whether or not that went for 4, and it didn't by the look of it. It's hard to persuade some of the crowd what the truth is at times. Oh, that's going to run away for 4. That's an interesting shot, running down the 3rd man. He fired it in a little quicker, Sahel, and short. Got a thick outside edge, and it ran away remarkably quickly.
Yes, Amir Sahel tried to bowl it quicker and flatter, and
Salim Malik, this is swung in the air. He could be out, or it could be 6. It's 6. It's up on the terraces. Well, he got hold of it remarkably well. I thought it was had a look of a top edge about it, but in the end, it cleared the boundary.
It's successful shots here from Harris, but he didn't. I don't believe he did get hold of it. He can hit the ball, this fellow, and he gave it the full flourish, and it just dropped over, quite clearly over.
So Salim Malik, 6 off his first ball, and that's out. Goodness me, that's a full toss, and he's hit it straight back. I thought for a moment it was a bump ball, hit very much the toe of the bat, but Harris hit it straight back to the bowler.
Yes, I think he reaches for it here. Look at that, and just spooned it up, hit very low on the toe of the bat, and the simplest of caught and bowls for Salim Malik.
He's going to be facing the Pakistani skipper, Salim Malik. Picked up that caught and bowled. Just nudges this one. It's a bit of indecision, but they wisely go back.
And the dismissal of Harris again. Just reaching for it, almost yorking him, and he tended to lunge forward at it. The first test, what only lasted something like 2.5 days at time.
Well, that's in the air. It's the bottom of the bat again. So one more to the total, but not a convincing shot at all. There's the full scoreboard, a bit disappointing, but New Zealand starting out, of course, imagining it was a 50-over contest. They faced 9 overs, then the rain came, and the game was reduced to a 30-over game. So difficult circumstances, but not a very happy-looking board. Tony Blaine on strike. And he's found the gap nicely here. It may not go all the way, but they've got 2. And they'll come back for a 3rd. That was well placed indeed.
It's well placed, this shot from Blaine. Just dabbing it down very accurately, using the pace of the ball. Amir Sohail trying to bowl it a little quick and flat, dragging it down, and enough momentum on the ball to almost take it through to the boundary.
Good ball, hard to get those away. There's 4 men on the offside inside the circle. We must have 4 inside the circle, a minimum of 4. You can have more if you want to. Oh, is he going to be stumped? He is. Well, there's no need for the umpire to take part in this contest. Shane Thompson is walking off. He went down the wicket. The ball was a little shorter, missed it, gone.
Yes, it's tempting to get your body weight going forward, but when the keeper's standing up, if you get out of your crease, this is what happens. And Thompson just tried to reach back with his foot, you see there. He was still miles out and tended to stay around a while with disappointment. Naive under these conditions. And a disappointing outcome for them, but Pakistan doing it nicely here.
Blaine there on 4, and only Danny Morrison and Chris Pringle to come. Salim Malik with the ball. And he's spending a little time organising the field, and Gavin Larson's trying to work out where they all are. And Salim Malik says, come on. And it's a very slow delivery, which deceives Gavin Larson. He takes a while to arrive.
Well, Pakistan could find themselves in a position where they only need to push it round to go for victory.
And that's well bowled. Digs it out and pushes it down to long off, so another single. Salim Malik, the skipper of this Pakistan side. And Tony Blaine, the keeper, now on strike. Tries to thump it, doesn't really get hold of it that well. He'll get 1 anyway. Quite consistent bowling from Salim Malik.
Yes, well, if you bowl at that pace, you ought to be able to dob it in the right area.
Come on!
Again, waiting for it, Gavin Larson.
Yes, and there was the example where he got it in the right place, and it just didn't arrive. The batsman wasn't able to use any momentum on the ball, wasn't quite far enough up to hit it off the front foot over the top.
Changed his mind, and he's got time to do it because of the pace of the ball, and pushes it out to the man at deep cover.
Salim Malik will be quite happy with a single off each ball from here on in to the 30th over.
This is in the air, he could be out. I think he will be. Yes, he's caught. So another man down, Tony Blaine. The disaster continues here at Carisbrook for New Zealand.
Well, look, the edge is not a long one at Carisbrook, and Blaine tackles it. He tries to hit it for 6 and isn't able to get it over at all. It was about 10 metres inside the boundary, so another New Zealander gone here, so he'd be happy to run up and down the wicket and get loose for that job. There's only going to be 10 minutes.
Gavin Larson trying to swing it away. It's a runaway fairly fine on the leg side, and he'll come back for 2. I'm not quite sure whether there was bat involved. There was. So 2 more to Larson.
He appeared to try and hit that one for 6. He must have got a little inside edge on it. So just Pringle to come.
One more to Larson. So still fairly chilly here in Dunedin, and we hope we don't get any more rain. It's a little gloomy. Not a very big crowd in, a bit disappointing. Dear me, that's all in slow motion. And Danny Morrison looks hopefully down the wicket at the umpire.
Yeah, Steve Dunn decided it wasn't too wide. And Morrison exaggerating the fact.
That's a bit straighter. And they can't get it through. So New Zealand really struggling to get this scoreboard underway, and with most of the batsmen back in the pavilion, I don't imagine will change at this stage. There's the run rate. Good bowling from Salim Malik. Very straight.
Salim Malik now 3.5 overs, 2 for 17. He'll settle for that.
Down the wicket, it's in the air. He could be caught. He is caught. So it happens again. Danny Morrison trying to hit it for 6 or hit it down the ground, succeeds in hitting it down the fieldsman's throat.
Well, it's a field day for Mushtabar here. Morrison charged, but didn't find the middle of the bat. And on this occasion, Mushtabar has to make some good ground and takes a good catch away to his left. That's 3 now for him. And Morrison certainly launching into it, but never getting it far enough. He's on his way, New Zealand.
Dear oh me. Poor old Kiwi. He's doing it tough.
Yes, I think the problem that the Pakistanis had in their comments just prior to this match, in fact yesterday, that they hadn't had a big enough opportunity to use the white ball. They did ask for a white balls about 3 weeks ago so that they could practice with them, I understand, and they didn't see them until yesterday. And I think that was the reason.
When we mentioned it was a 50-over game, he's back in action for the last over of the innings. Just nudging it down to 3rd man is Chris Pringle to get underway, and he picks up a single. Mushtabar down there.
When the New Zealanders were just looking to collect from him.
Larson tried to swing it away. He's got it away, not quite where he wanted it, but he's picked up a single anyway behind square. New Zealand's innings. Chris Pringle on strike. Up one, just chipping it over the infield. The man sweeping on the offside does the fielding. Well bowled by Wasim Akram. That was showed his experience.
Yes, when you charge, that's okay, but he gave himself room outside leg stump, and in the end he struggled to reach it, even though it was still close enough to off stump not to be wided. But see how far Larson got outside leg stump, and it was a good Yorker length as well. So good delivery from Akram.
Hit this one, but he'll only get one down to mid-off, scurries through. So we're down to the last ball of the contest, and not quite what they would have hoped. Wasim Akram to bowl it. And he hits it just over mid-off. He may pick up 4. It'll run away for 4, so Chris Pringle, a good shot to finish off with. And New Zealand 122 for 9 at the end of their 30 overs. As Chris Pringle and Gavin Larson make their way off the park, and Pakistan will come out to try and get 123 for victory.
There was that break of 2 3/4 hours for rain, which reduced the number of overs to 30. New Zealand at that point 32 for 1 in the 10th over. They lost Jones, Young, Rutherford and Cairns in adding 42. So at that point it was 75 for 5 with 9 overs to go. And the New Zealanders have struggled through really off the 30 overs to 122 for 9.
That's right, we certainly remember that. Ahmed Sahel at the other end. So the two left-handers are out there for Pakistan. We're almost set to go. New Zealand scored 122 for 9. And the Pakistan's total required in 30 overs, remember, is 1, 2, 3. Chris Harris makes a good stop on the covers. Marvellous one-day fieldsman, or marvellous fieldsman, full stop, Chris Harris. But particularly... He dragged that one from about off stump, didn't he? He walked right across.
That's right. Just pick it on the up and flick it around the corner.
Ken Rutherford has plugged that position now. There is a man down, deep backward square leg. Oh, that's a glorious shot through the covers. That's another boundary. 2 in a row. And Saeed Anwar takes Pakistan to 10 without loss.
Absolutely magnificent looking cover drive there by Saeed Anwar, who goes down to the pitch of that delivery with the middle of the bat, times it perfectly through the covers, straight to the fence.
Ken Rutherford watching the progress of that delivery, and pretty obvious where it's heading.
To West Indies, but was sent back halfway through because of the recurrence of the back trouble.
A bit lucky there, Saeed Anwar, poking at it. A bit lucky as it didn't fall back onto the leg stump. End of the over, 10 without loss. Sports live at Carisbrook. Shane Thompson bowling the 4th over of the innings. Pakistan have 30 overs now to score 123. 30 overs in total, that is, to score 123 to win this game. So far no runs off Shane Thompson.
There's not much in the wicket, Grant. There was a bit of movement when the game started here this morning, and but the bounce is even. The ball is coming onto the batsman, onto the bat, and it's not very difficult to drive or cut.
That's a good-looking shot. Harris has the chase, and that's to the boundary. It's a well-timed stroke by Ahmed Sahel, and that's 4 runs.
Yes, a very confident-looking drive there through cover and point. Very well timed in the middle of the bat, just waiting for that ball to be pitched, an over-pitched delivery. Share a good partnership.
Well, that's a good one from Thompson. Nipping past Hale, end of the over, 16 without loss.
Very close call there for left-hander Saeed Anwar. A good delivery coming into the batsman to the left-hander, but hitting him in top of the thigh.
It's bowling round the wicket, Chris Pringle. Well, that's in the air. They're going to get a single, ballooning away on the leg side. They need 4.14 from here, but they've got all 10 wickets still intact, and some marvellous attacking players to come.
Yes, not a huge target by any means. They've got to make sure that they keep their wickets intact, at least for 30-40 runs on the board.
Oh, he wanted a single, but it was never there. Chris Harris could have run that in and taken the bails off had he been required to do so. He really is a marvellous fieldsman, Chris Harris. New Zealand well served in the one-day game. They've got Harris on the offside and great batch close in on the leg side. And Pakistan have got to be aware of those two fieldsmen.
Yes, indeed, two very fine fielders. We have seen that in the World Cup. New Zealand. That one on the leg stump, flicked on the leg side. Not really able to get hold.
Down leg side, it was helped on its way, but Blaine took an excellent catch. But they all count, and away goes Sahale.
Thank you, Grant. Well, 5 overs gone, 17 for the 1 wicket. And there's been some nice stroke play already from Syed Anwar. And that's another handsome stroke from Syed Anwar, lofting the ball. It will stop fairly quickly, but it might just have the legs. No, very quickly it did stop. 3 runs taken. Well, he's got some good strokes, this fellow, Ian. He's got a very good record too, hasn't he?
He's a fantastic one-day player. In fact, he was a one-day player far before he was a test player. That's the reason why he's prepared to go over the top early in the innings. Doesn't matter who the bowler is. And that's come much straighter than that. Both those fieldsmen are up, mid-off and mid-on. And Ken Rutherford doing the history of umpiring. Certainly doesn't expend too much energy putting the arms out, does he? Just a gentle swivel of the hips, out go the arms, and if you didn't see it, tough luck.
I know, and he's quick, isn't he? And he turns side on to us. I suppose he could be forgiven there in the sense that he was holding something, holding a jersey as he did it, but I mean, that was one of his better signals. We saw it.
Pakistan really just pacing themselves. Everybody in New Zealand is aware of the danger of Inzamam al-Haq. We've seen that too often in the past. It's fair players in that Pakistan lineup to come as well, so they know that providing they do it right, they'll coast home in this contest.
In the batting order that we were given, where Mushtaba's name is now, and then Salim Malik and Basit Ali. Interestingly, that Basit was coming in after Salim Malik. So Basit Ali with the pads on. And who's that with the broken arm there, Ian? Is that one? Is it the physio? I don't recognise him anyway.
I believe there's a player going home very shortly, leaving because he's had an injury to a finger, and he's had it operated on in Christchurch or even in here in Dunedin. Shakil Ahmed, I believe his name is. So the danger man is gone, or one of the many in the Pakistan lineup. Inzamam al-Haq is out, and Pakistan,
as he would have liked, and that would encourage it to hold a bit. And so Larson starts with just 2 from the over. It's now 26 for 2. 8 overs gone. And 4 for 55 from 17 wickets. But he's a very talented player. Let's look at this ball again.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Maybe the ball just holding up a bit. It's just bounced, and he's almost through the shot there, and he's had to stop it. Otherwise, if he carried through, the ball may have just popped up in the air. So he got away with it, but there's this thing about the pitch not being fully prepared. Not 100% anyway.
And when we see a guy like Cairns bowling, Ian, he's a bit quicker than the rest of them, and yet we've said all along that the slower bowlers tend to do best. Why is that?
Well, because the batsmen, generally the shot players, which Pakistan are, and most of the New Zealand players, the shot makers, they like the ball to come onto the bat. When it doesn't, they're still playing the same type of shots, but the ball isn't there to hit. That's where the problem is. And Cairns also bowls a good slower ball.
That's well pitched up at the field for Abu Dhabi. He looks and he says he's out. He's gone. So
So Salim Malik is out, and Cairns has a wicket in his first over.
Well, we'll have a very, very close look at this one. Salim Malik is not leaving the park in a very hurried fashion. He's not too happy. You wonder why. Is this ball angling down leg side or not? We can see middle and off. Very vociferous appeal from the New Zealanders. A wee delay. The lean of the head. The finger goes up. Malik's on.
They played in it well enough at all that they could knock these runs off very quickly.
Oh, he swung this one away. It is going to be stopped out there by Brian Young. They're coming back for a second and they'll get it safely enough. So that's the end of the over, 31 for 3. Wasim Akram and his wife. So here's one more to Basit Ali out in the middle.
New Zealand found in the World Cup in New Zealand here that they chose to, or were more successful in using just one of their fast bowlers, and the Gavin Larsons, if you like, and Patel and the slower bowlers tended to do the job under our conditions in New Zealand. And so playing Cairns, he may not be expected to bowl all of his overs, although he only has to bowl 6 because of the reduced contest with 30 overs aside. But Morrison has been the most effective of our quick bowlers and yet to get to the bowling crease.
I'll pick up a signal here. Basit Ali calling Saeed through. So we're just reminding you all, a 30-over game this one because of the rain earlier on today. So Basit Ali has had a pretty good tour of New Zealand. Models himself very much on Javed Miandad. There's his one-day record. Really inexperienced to date, but still a young man. A good average, 47.3 at early days. It's a fine edge, a bit of pad perhaps involved, but well played. And he'll pick up a couple. Andrew Jones returns.
Well, he walks across. You see Cairns' expression there. He walked across in front of his stumps. Look at that, right across to try and get it travelling down the line of his pads. And he picked that from about middle and flicked it round the corner. If he'd missed, and see, look at Cairns there. He's still showing an expression of disbelief. So once again, we see Basit Ali taking chances.
Says you're out.
Well, let's have a look here. Basit Ali does walk across in front, and although it's in front of his sticks, it'll be interesting to see it from side on for the height. In the meantime, though, Pakistan have gone through to
Sabka Bank. Up.
About to bowl again for New Zealand. Short single, and Harris can't affect the run out. He gave it a good go. Asif Mustafa was flying down to the striker's end.
The thing is, they're not getting boundaries. Only 3 fours have been hit in the innings, and that's a very good containment rate that New Zealand bowlers have shown.
And worked away fine. It won't go for 4. They'll certainly pick up a couple more. That's the end of the over. It's 49.
This time he forces away just forward a square and gets a single out to Brian Young. And that's the end of the 18th over. It's 54 for 4.
So looking around, on the previous delivery, he tries to tuck that one away on the leg side, not managing it.
Saeed Anwar Reddy is the key to this match for Pakistan, the opening batsman. Another good tight delivery from Morrison. Has been held back by Captain Rutherford right till this point in the innings. If he bowls through now, he'll only get to about 27 overs.
Captain Rutherford on his toes, just cheering up Danny Morrison. So far been successful. His bowlers dismissing 4 of the Pakistan batsmen. A lot will depend on Saeed Anwar.
That's in the air. It's clear of any fieldsman. and it's drifting out towards the boundary and just makes it. Well, it's a slow outfield, and that is a boundary. We haven't had one for a long time, and Syed Anwar gets his third.
Yes, good looking shot, that one. Beautifully timed in the air. Plenty of gap in that space between cover and extra cover. There's no fielder.
So the last ball of the 19th over. Again, he can't get a single. Straight out to Great Batch, end of the 19th over, 15.
To hit the ball off the square.
Well, a good bit of work from Tony Blaine, but it was wide, signalled wide, so it was a good effort to stop it going for more than just the one wide that comes for bowling too wide. If Blaine had missed it, there might have been 3 or 4 wides. Oh, and he's hit that one past him too. Missed by just diverting away in the field, and it wasn't able to be dragged in. So the last ball of the over is a costly one for Chris Harris, and it's 68 for boundary decisions to be used only for the run-outs and stumpings. Whereas we know in South Africa they are using them for boundary decisions now, aren't they? The umpire, or the use of video for assistance during a match or after a match perhaps to correct things, should be used whenever there's a line involved. Here's one, and he's batting out of it, Mustafa. And he's driving in there, he's going to be caught too, and Cairns has it. And so a wicket for Morrison, and just what Pakistan didn't need as they were getting underway. Mustafa's out, it's 74 for 5.
The best partnership of the game comes to an end, and Mustafa, who really has not been in form, he's been out of cricket for a while, and he has looked like he's been missing it somewhat, just chips it up to mid-off. He stood in disbelief after the shot. Really haven't seen much evidence of any turn today for Thompson or any of the spinners, although Akram Raza did get a little bit earlier in the day, but it won't be the spin. I don't think that's the factor. It's the pace of the ball and whether the batsman can get to it and safely hit through it, keeping it along the ground, or if in the air, finding the gaps. So Latif...
Brook just coming down to the last 8 overs of this match. It's been shortened to 30. 30 overs aside. We started this morning on time, but there was some rain on several occasions in the morning's play, and eventually when they started after lunch it was 30 overs and innings for each of the two sides. New Zealand made 122 for 9 when their 30 overs was up, and so Pakistan looking for 1, 2, 3. They're very even at the moment. It's been a cool day, cloudy day. Oh, it's nearly in the air, enough to get back to Thompson. He thought that it might be coming a bit further. Touch and go there for Shane Thompson.
There's an example of the ball not coming onto the bat. The batsman threw the shot and almost spooning it back.
Oh, it's hit in the air, and he's found the player, has he? Or has he found the fence? He's found the terrace. Right over the fence. It's not a bad way to open your account, Rashid Latif.
Oh, this is a good shot from Latif. It's a pretty small boundary out there, admittedly, but he actually decided to play it in there very late. You see, he took that option and just scooped it up over mid-wicket. Larson was there waiting, but in vain.
Well, that's had a big hit again. This one's in the gap. It's not going to go over the boundary because Pringle was running around to be able to prevent that. But Rashid Latif has signalled his intentions very quickly. That's the end of the over. It's 83 for 5. Straighten things up for Pakistan. They looked a bit wobbly for a while, but he's picked them up. Today's official attendance, 7,498. Well, that's staggering, really. Must have been people coming and going. And he's hit that pretty well, pretty fine, has Syed Anwar. And it's going to have enough legs to carry all the way to the boundary, I think, as it slows right down there. And Pringle has the chance to get it. Well, you can see the outfield. It was very lush and then slowed by the rain. And Syed Anwar now to 48.
Bliss delivery was always going down leg side. He's just helped it on its way, really. And the man down there, Chris Pringle, was quite square in terms of his position and just manages to get into the frame to cut it off. So that run may be vital. But 3 to Anwar. He's moved on to 48.
Oh, Rashid's gone for that. There's a player back there sweeping on the boundary. But oh, we're seeing some good shots from Rashid Latif. He's come in at the right time and done the right job. Well, that's staggering a crowd of 7,500 here, Ian, because there were a lot of people here this morning when it was drizzling. There seem to be fewer people here now.
Well, I just wonder how many more there might have been. It hasn't been the nicest of days, admittedly, in Dunedin. There's also that talk about the perhaps the student boycott.
Anwar will look for 2. Can he complete his 50 of this one? No. Chris Cairns with figures of 2 for 15 now. And the comparison just starting to tip a little bit towards Pakistan's favour, with the last 2 overs have produced some good strokes from Rashid Latif and from Syed Anwar.
Well, Latif has just come out here and looked like he's in superb form. Doing it the right way too. He plays a big shot early in the over, pick up the boundary, and then just work it round. So sensibly now, the required run rate down to 4.63. It's been achieved without really any risks being taken.
Anwar driving all just past great patch too, and he gets his 50 to Syed Anwar, and he's happy with that. There are 4 boundaries there, and he's taken Pakistan to 90 for 5 at the end, as the over comes to an end. Now there's one ball left, sorry.
Well, that's a fine innings from Syed Anwar. He's the only player that's been prepared to stick it out there. The others have all succumbed to big shots, and this was a pretty big shot as well. He got away with it, but he has been the batsman of the day.
So Rashid Latif still playing strokes, taking it to 91 for 5, 7 overs left. Pringle might come back to 2 for 12 there for him from his 4 overs. And with 7 overs remaining, the maximum any bowler can deliver is 6 overs. So Larson has the possibility of 2 more. Rashid Latif has 11 runs from 8 balls. He's going to have to hurry here if he gets there, but Syed Anwar's has a wiser head and says no.
So one of the things that's awkward about Gavin Larson's bowling is he goes such a consistent length, and the batsmen sometimes tend to bat out of the crease by a foot or so just to upset that length, and there we see Rashid Latif doing exactly that.
It's a handsome shot behind point. It's found the gap. It's going for 4.
Well, I've been pretty impressed with Rashid Latif. He's walked down the wicket slightly. I think Tony Blaine may have to take the option of standing up to the stumps to prevent this, or at least tell Larson that he's batting out of the crease, because he's able to get to the ball a lot more freely than anyone else, and that's a beautiful shot behind point for 4. But he's staying out there, so what will Gavin Larson do to adjust?
Heading in through the onside now. So this man, Rashid Latif, looks to be in complete control, and he's only been there for 10 balls.
1, 2, maybe 3 wickets very, very quickly, otherwise it's all over. Pakistan can just coast, and here he is. Look how far out of the crease he's batting. Tony Blaine should do something about that.
Over-tossed, well up, and Rashid can't do anything with it. 97 for 5.
Come in, and he's got 16 from just 12 balls and turned things around for Pakistan.
Set this away on the onside, just behind square. It'll only get 1, because we will be picking our UVEX MVP, and we'll keep you up to date with that. We've got our experts behind us thinking about it. As Ian Smith grabs for a piece of paper, we'll wait with bated breath to see what he comes up with.
Yes, I was just saying, you see, that with such a low target to chase, 16 quick runs.
Quick single here, well run. Rashid Latif really has turned this innings around remarkably.
Yeah, well, 16 quick runs could just make all the difference. You know, he's done it just off 12 balls and just made it more comfortable for Pakistan. the required run rate now only at 4.36, and with 5 wickets in hand, that shouldn't be a problem.
So if you've just joined us, it's a 30-over contest. We had a fair bit of rain earlier on, and the game was reduced to 30 overs. 1-2-2 New Zealand got. Straying down the leg side. This could be close. And we'll wait for the third umpire on this one. And Rashid Latif, is he home or is he not?
Yes, I'd like to see this. I think he could be out. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, he's home.
Yes, he is too. So Cairns just taking a little bit long to actually release the ball, playing the dive pass, which should be kept for rugby, really.
So he did well to get to the ball quickly, didn't he? And it was quite ambitious running, but Rashid Latif certainly scuttled through and did it very well. Oh, he's gone for the big hit. Where's this gone? It's a big one, all right. It's 6 runs. It hits the top of the fence and ricochets into the stand. So Rashid Latif, he really is the man of the moment.
Yes, he just walks across here to get in line with the ball and heaved it over mid-wicket. Just walked across in front of his sticks, gave it some almighty bottom hand, launched it, hit the top of the fence, and therefore is 6 runs.
Goes again, this time on the offside. This is an enormous hit, and up in the terraces. So Rashid Latif making a mockery of this contest. End of the over. It's 106. Sorry, 112. They're coming so quickly, can't keep up with them. 112 for 5.
Well, look at this, how he gets outside leg stump. And this is a great shot, you know, to hit it over extra cover and just about pin that fellow. Now that was a much better shot than the one over mid-wicket, but it shows that this fellow Latif has a lot more skills than we'd seen in the Test series. That was the first one that went over mid-wicket, and then the very next ball.
More cheerful than he was half an hour or so ago. So New Zealand with problems, Heatsman, and the one day is coming up, Eden Park on Sunday. Have it down in front of you and run through for a single. So Chris Pringle back into the attack, coming Ubix MVP coming up shortly, and it will be interesting. Of course, shortened game, it's difficult to sort it out. Batsman, wicketkeeper. That's the formula. 10 runs from 29 balls. It really has changed dramatically. Chris Pringle on his way. He hits another one in the air. It's going to drop short of Gavin Larson down there at long on, but an easy single.
No need to get out now. He's really just about giving his wicket away there. They can just collect and get to the task very easily. He tried to chip this one, just falling short of mid-on. So Pringle 4.2 overs, he has 2 for 14.
Saeed Anwar, he really has been the backbone of the Pakistani innings. He opened the innings with Amir Sahel, and there was a real string of low scores, but this man has stayed there. He's on 54 from 69 balls. Sent back. Oh, this might be a third umpire job again. Saeed Anwar being sent back. Did he make it?
Was he sent back quickly enough here? Let's watch it on the replay. Saeed Anwar trying to desperately get back in. Yes, well, it looks as though he made it all over. We might get another replay here. He's just in there. Well, they didn't quite stop it.
No, perhaps we could have freeze-framed it, but I think he was in. So Brian Aldridge, the third umpire, has decided in favour of the batsman. If there's any doubt, it must go in the batsman's favour, and that's what's happened. Saeed Anwar, 54, heroising moment for him. I quite enjoy the third umpire business. This one's over the top. He's hit it very high. It hasn't got much distance on it, but it drops safely and pulls up very quickly.
Well, that was a wedge, wasn't it? He didn't get to it. Still extended through the line of the ball, and it went many a mile in the air. If you watch this, how he doesn't get quite to the pitch of it, and you might say blocked it over cover. That's made all the difference for Pakistan, which are just racing to victory quickly now.
A fair bit of rain came in and we had a long stoppage. The game was reduced to 30 overs. New Zealand had 9 all. Danny Morrison to bowl to Rashid Latif. That must be a no ball. It's above shoulder height. It's a bit silly.
Yeah, well, this... let's just see if Danny Morrison decides to give the victory to Pakistan by bowling another one. Be rather foolish if he did. So 2 runs, in fact, needed, not just 1.
So Ken Rutherford, the skipper, looking on. And he whips it away. That's it. 2 runs, he comes back for the second run. Rashid Latif very appropriately hits the winning runs. He's been the batsman of the day, no question about it. Pakistan, after making heavy weather of getting 1, 2, 3, have got there in the end with a good partnership between Saeed Anwar, who finished with 60, Rashid Latif 32. Pakistan win this first one-dayer.
So Pakistan away to a quick start in their chase for 123 and 30 overs before Sohail was caught behind. 5 overs gone, it was 17 for 1, and when Inzamam went at 24, Salim at 27, New Zealand hopes were raised. They went sky high when Basit Ali went and it was 35 for 4. Anwar and Mushtaba put on 39 before Mushtaba went for 14, just as Pakistan was looking to get away. But Rashid Latif, look at that, 38 off 18 balls, playing a very important cameo which turned the whole innings and the match around. Daring stroke play, fast running, 2 consecutive sixes off Chris Cairns. And the New Zealand bowlers did a very good job of defending a small total. Interesting move to use Shane Thompson with the new ball. Pringle and Cairns had 2 wickets apiece as Pakistan slumped to 35 for 4, but in the end, not enough runs on the board. And Rashid messing up Cairns' figures with those 2 sixes. He finished with 2 for 33. And here's the New Zealand figures. Brian Young top scoring with 20. When New Zealand came out after the rain delay at 2:25, they really struggled and they got through to 122 for 9. Here's the Pakistani bowling figures, and look at that. Not often that we see Wasim and Waqar not getting any wickets at all. And the spinners, Akram Raza 3 for 18 off 6. Very good bowling by the off spinner. And Salim Malik 3 for 17 as well. Well, now we're set for the Man of the Match presentation. Let's join Sir Richard Hadley.
Thank you, Jeff. The Bank of New Zealand Man of the Match award has been selected by former Otago and New Zealand spin bowler Stephen Bock. Saeed Anwar has won that award. Saeed, on behalf of the Bank of New Zealand, can I present you with this wonderful trophy?
Thank you very much, Richard.
And perhaps just as importantly, a cheque here for $500.
Thank you very much.
Well batted again today. You're certainly enjoying New Zealand conditions out here at the moment.
Yeah, so far in the test matches, everybody of us really enjoyed playing on that wickets, but the wicket today was a bit on the slow side. And we were lucky that we got them out a bit earlier. We were thinking about 150 or something, but we bowled them out for 124. And the way the wicket started to fall, I was trying to tell my batsmen that we'll really will have a chance. Just what we have to do is to take singles and 2s, because that was on the kind of wicket and the ground was slow to hit boundaries. So the main thing on my mind was to stay at the wicket and try it in the last overs.
Just back to Eden Park on Sunday, a bit frisky there was the pitch for the test match. You'd be looking for something a little more placid, but you're looking forward to getting back to Eden Park.
Yeah, I hope so. The main thing is that I want to carry on like this, because the way I played in the last test match, I really felt dejected, and I never felt like this before, and I was trying to tell myself that I should stay at the wicket and play according to the ball and don't play program shots like this. And we are really lucky to have won this first one-day, and I think our morale will be boosted by this win, and we'll try our best to win the series.
Well played today. Congratulations. Well, there we have it, Jeff, the man of the match, the Bank of New Zealand man of the match, Saeed Anwar of Pakistan. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Richard. Saeed Anwar making 60, Pakistan winning by 5 wickets to go, 1 up in the series. Stay with us on One World of Sport. We'll be back in a moment.